Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Culture 316 podcast. I'm one of your hosts and producers, Jordan Nahisi. Clearly, I'm with my guy over here, Banks. I wanted to first off thank Banks for coming on. Of course, that's my guy. That's the bro. Second of all, I want to thank everybody who continues to support the pod. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, be sure to rate the show 5 stars. Subscribe on there. Thank you to everyone who joined us on our past two spaces, one for Wrestle Dream, one for No Mercy. Two pretty eventful shows, two very, very interesting outcomes, to say the least. And thank you guys for just always showing up and supporting and building community with us. The next space this Saturday, WWE Fastlane. And also just be sure to click on our Discord if you want to build and join community over there. By the way, the Fastlane space will be on our Twitter at Culture316. It's been a lot happening in wrestling. I'm going to start with the most recent and I guess the hottest topic of them all, because last night, I'm talking last night because this is Monday, on Sunday night at Wrestle Dream, live from Seattle, Washington at the Climate Pledge Arena, Adam Edge Copeland made his long-awaited All Elite Wrestling debut. Rumors have been speculating for the past couple of months now that Edge was going to be finishing up at WWE and heading over to AEW. And Banks hit me up, and he was like, listen, I want parts on this show. And I have my own take as far as Edge being in AEW. But Banks, I'm going to open the floor to you. And I want you to talk your talk and tell the people how you feel about the arrival of Edge, Adam Copeland, in AEW.
Well, first off, thank you for me, allowing me to be here once again. It was a spur of the moment, so to speak, in my intoxication of let me come through because I knew this was going to happen. We saw the writing on the wall, the promo code, and then when you make this match, you put, somebody that's better than Edge, his homeboy Christian. You put him in the 2 out of 3 falls match for the main event. It's like, all right, you just giving yourself away. But no disrespect to that young man, even though he older than me, Tony Khan. He just don't know shit about wrestling. That's what it is. We can cuss now because we 2 minutes in, but I ain't gonna curse a lot. I ain't gonna curse, but these, what Ray J said. Listen, man, I be trying to tell y'all. Let me look into the camera. This is the A camera. I've been trying to tell y'all about Edge. All 2 of y'all that know who I am. I've been trying to tell y'all about Edge, bruh. Gimmick matches, the promos ain't hitting like that. They never have. There you go. Name me your favorite promo. The one where he retired. All right, cool. When that's gonna happen again? Never. Otherwise than that, cool. He go over there. He go with his mans and them FTR. I don't know. I guess he get cool with Matt Hardy, who could barely walk. He always look like he gotta take a poo poo because them perks be beating him up. We getting Edge and Christian before the end of the year. I'm letting y'all. I said it. I think 2-3 weeks ago before this rumor even came up, and I knew he was going to AEW. We getting Edge and Christian before the end of the year. And when I tell y'all, I've already said, and this is me, I'm not a WWE mark. I like AEW. This has just been a worst year ever so far. When that happens, I swear, bro, it solidifies this one of they. I mean, this is their worst year ever.
Mm.
It's gonna happen. His first match is against Luchasaurus. You want to see that? Y'all want to see Luchasaurus versus Edge? In what way? Name me your favorite Luchasaurus match, bro. Anybody that's listening to this, put in the comments, like, subscribe, and put in the comments. What's your favorite Luchasaurus match?
Oh, man. I don't even know how to follow that up. What I will say, I don't have a favorite Luchasaurus match, but if I'm just going to be talking about Edge in AEW, if I could be completely honest, I think it was a great moment last night when he came out. That pop was insane. Um, I personally like it, and I'm going to tell you why I like it. Whenever I see someone come from another company to go into, you know, if I see someone going from one company to another company and I have to talk about debuts or the quality of their debuts or how I feel their arrival has an impact, no pun intended, I look at a couple of things. And I think that number one is the clarity in which that person and their role will be. The fact that Edge and Christian is going to be a feud, I'm okay with that because he said multiple times, like, before my career is done, I just need one more run with Christian. So I know what to expect. I knew what to expect. I knew that last night was gonna happen, and I kind of could have predicted if Christian ain't coming to WWE, if Christian's locked in for God knows how many years, and Christian's not going to WWE, that means Edge is going to AEW, and so that's what happened last night. I'm not mad at Edge and Christian happening one more time. Um, as far as the promos are concerned, I feel like once Edge came back to WWE, I felt like he was a little bit stuck, a little bit in limbo. And the reason being is because when you have an entire gimmick calling yourself the Rated R superstar, a lot of the things that you want to do and that you're able to do can't be on the platform or the level that you want it to be on. Um, Ironically, my favorite promo from Edge is probably the "I Hate You" promo against John Cena. Obviously, this is like the 2010s. That that to me was his best promo ever because it was so genuine and it was so real.
Yeah.
And even when you look back at it, like Edge likes to talk about like his plans, like when he had planned for like the Rated R WWE Championship, like a promo like "I Hate You, John Cena" makes 100% sense. So I feel like Edge is still a good promo. I still feel like he has a lot to offer. Um, I feel like the stuff that he's been talking about that he wants to do, especially in the media scrum, he talked about some opponents that he wanted to face, Samoa Joe being one of them, Swerve being another one. And I feel like after Swerve's victory last night, I would love to see Swerve rack up on big W's against guys who have a name in this industry. I feel like it's his time to do so, and I would love to see an Edge Swerve feud. I would love to see a storyline. I'm curious to see what that would look like. Um, so I feel like he has a lot to offer. I feel like it was one of those, and I think he said it. Matter of fact, I'm actually gonna go on his Twitter because he actually issued like a whole statement about everything. So I'm gonna start from the beginning. All right, here we go. This is the first of four. From the desk of ... As some of you may know, I'm no longer with WWE. My new home is AEW. I'm excited. Whole new roster, some familiar faces that I wanted to work with again, and a whole new set of first ever matches, new challenges. And if you follow my career, you know that's what I've always been driven by. Okay, I can see that. But first and foremost, I want to address my 25 years with WWE. I love WWE and appreciate everything the company did for me. Always have, always will. They put me on the map, gave me amazing opportunities, and through hard work on both ends, I've been supplied with a wonderful life. Hell, WWE helped me meet the woman I'd start my family with. Sometimes relationships just grow apart, and I feel the WWE and I have just outgrown each other. I wanted to do more. They didn't have much for me to do. Simple as that. And that's okay. I'll still be there. I'll still be watching and still be supporting my friends there. Moving on, I don't buy into this odd mentality of one company or the other. It's weird. If you took offense to that, take a walk, get some fresh air, and soak up some sunshine. It's wrestling. An amazing gig, but still, it's wrestling. Relax. It's supposed to be fun. And it's just a segment of fans, not most fans, and definitely not the performers. Within the industry, we all know that more choices is better for everyone and pushes us all to be better. As a wrestling fan, which I still am, it's exciting that there's viable companies providing wrestling on national and worldwide platforms. If you're actually a fan of wrestling and not acronyms, that should make you happy too. I guess what I'm trying to say is this: if you've appreciated my work, you still can, no matter what the initials are, because I'll still be busting my ass every time I'm out there. This ride isn't over yet. Just try to have fun like it should be. Because trust me, I'll be having fun every time I'm out there in an AEW ring. Let's go. That is from the desk of Adam Edge Copeland. Um, so for what it is, for what he wants to do, for what he said he wants to do, I'm 100% behind it. I feel like Edge is one of those guys that I feel like if you put him in a certain environment, there's going to be certain people that are going to bring out the best in him. I feel like Samoa Joe from a promo level is going to bring out the best in him. I feel like in the ring, that as well. And I feel like he can rekindle that old thing that made us drawn to him in the first place. And when I look at this statement, it's pretty consistent. I mean, when he came back to WWE, it was AJ Styles, it was Seth Rollins. You know what I mean? It seemed like he wanted to do new things, and it feels like that he wants to do that same thing in AEW. So I'm completely behind him being in AEW. I agree with you though. I don't want to see him versus Luchasaurus, but I get it. It's a build towards him and Christian, which I'm very, very excited. I'm eager to see. I don't want to see very, very excited for. But that's on that. I mean, I want to know how everybody else feels in regards to the arrival of Adam Edge Copeland in AEW. Leave a comment below. Let us know how you feel. I was gonna say, while we're on that topic, with the arrival of Edge, um, and with everything that's been happening this past weekend in pro wrestling, what do you see as the best acquisition? Is it Jade to WWE or Edge to AEW?
Is that a trick question? Jay going to eat? It's Jay. Hey man, Jay can go to Juggalo Wrestling. I'm gonna watch. Boy, come on, you can put her in NWA. I'm gonna watch that. That goes without saying. Even though you know what I mean, I have my bias towards Edge. I don't care, bro. Hell, Ric Flair could sign AEW. I'm about to get Jade.
Mm,
Shawn Michaels could sign AEW. Jade. I don't care, bro.
mm.
I'm gonna always go with Jade. That's it.
I feel that. I actually agree with that. Edge's I feel like Edge is continuing his journey, and I feel like Jade is about to start a whole new journey. And I feel like
Oh,
that's the biggest distinction between the two.
are we
And
talking
because
about
of that,
wrestling? Not to
we're
cut
talking
you
about
off.
wrestling.
Oh yeah,
Huh?
I'm still gonna go with Jade. I wasn't even thinking about wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, I am thinking about wrestling, but I understand where you're coming from
I
as well.
ain't.
But and it's interesting. Speaking of which, it said that Tony Khan said that he detailed, this is according to SE Scoops, he detailed that Jade declined a very big offer to stay with AEW. What do you think? Why do you think Jade declined that offer? If she was getting more money, or she had the possibility of getting more money from AEW than she did from WWE, why do you think she declined that offer?
Well, number one, she ain't hurt for nothing. You know what I mean? She pulling up the Lamborghinis to AEW. Now she
Mm,
going to a place where if somebody wanted to buy a Lamborghini, they really could.
mm,
Just look at the people that's over there making money. I mean, the Miz making a couple mil a year. You feel me? So it's people over there that's pulling up with the same cars as you. So you go over there. Number
mm,
two, because everybody knows she's a draw. So you going over there to now a $11 billion company. People gonna look at her instantly. Because again, it's people that don't watch wrestling. They gonna be like, so it's like, there you go. She want to get
mm,
into movies, TV. There you go. That's the platform to do it on the E. So
mm.
that's it. Like, I mean, her dude, congratulations. You know what I mean? He owned teams and all that, so she ain't hurt, man.
Mm. I agree with that. I definitely think that the move to WWE was a long-term business move, right? I don't think that it was a matter of the money, like you said. I feel like as even though AEW is getting more and more press as the company grows and becomes bigger than what it is, um, it's still one of those things where the platform in wrestling, sports entertainment is WWE. And so if you want to take your career to the next level, if you want to be a mainstream star, WWE is that place. And I feel like over the years, even with the migration of Cody Rhodes, we've seen if you want to do WWE things, you can't do WWE things in AEW. You got to do them in WWE. It's the only place where it works. So I agree with you there. I think that she went. It's a power move. And I think she's going to be making a big difference and making a lot of money. And we're already seeing that kind of press and that fanfare build up. Um, so shouts out to Jade on that one. We're going to move on because this Saturday, we got WWE Fastlane coming live from Indianapolis, October 7th. Once again, we're going to be doing a space at Culture 316 on Twitter. We're going to just run through these predictions really, really quickly because it looks like we got a pretty pretty stacked card of some pretty good matches. So we're gonna start not from necessarily the bottom of the card, but I'm gonna start with I'm just not gonna start with the most important match. So we're gonna start with the Intercontinental title, Gunter versus Tommaso Ciampa. Who do we have?
Oh well, I got Colorado taking. Oh, okay. Never mind. That's wrong sport. Um, I got me trying to stay awake because it's a Tommaso Ciampa match.
I'm weak. You don't have it. You don't have a horse in this fight. You don't have a
Well, Gunther by
nothing.
default, but Tommaso Ciampa versus Gunther is definitely scaring the hoes. It's Tommaso Ciampa, bro. I've never been a fan of his. When he was on the Indies, he just he had hair back then, but now he's just a bald white dude with a beard from Milwaukee. You scaring all the hoes. So yeah, Gunther.
Gunter. I'm gonna go with Gunter as well. Um, I think that they're gonna continue this reign, and eventually, I think it's gonna be Chad Gable that's gonna take the belt off of him. That's a whole different discussion for a whole different day. But moving on to the next match, Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. We got Rhea Ripley versus Nia Jax. Who do we have?
Uh, Endorphins. That's what I'd be feeling watching this match. Big Sexy is back. Thank you, whoever made that decision to bring Big Sexy back, but I'm going with Rhea.
I'm gonna go with Rhea as well.
Strong Sexy.
Strong. I feel like I'm gonna go with Rhea as well. I think Rhea is probably one of the most marketable WWE superstars today, of men and women. She has become something that I don't think anyone could have expected as far as just her marketability. Um, but I'm gonna go with Rhea Ripley. Long story short, I'm gonna go with Rhea Ripley.
Jay might
So
actually pull up this Saturday too.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I feel
Yeah,
like that would be a perfect place to do it because I feel like if Jade is gonna pull up, she needs to be placed right into the main event picture right away. I
yeah.
feel like the main event is where Jade belongs. Like this is not a slow build. Jade is not a slow build girl. You put her in the main event because she is the main event. She's money. She's a draw.
And they
So
only got 5 women workers anyway, so
right, right. So I think that Jade is going to be placed in that main event picture immediately, and I think Fastlane will be a great place to start. Going into Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. It's a non-title match, but clearly something with some implications. Who do you have in this?
say again, it's Cody Rhodes versus who? I was listening,
Drew
my fault.
McIntyre. Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre.
I don't know what's going on with Drew. Apparently, he doing the subliminal stuff. I don't know if he getting his song back, which is fire. That first song he had when he came to the E. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he on his way out because remember, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Earlier this year they were talking about his contract, so I don't know if he read up or
Mm.
not. Maybe I missed it. But as far as the prediction goes, not to be long-winded, pause. I'm going with Cody.
It's the Mason Cam reference for me.
Oh yeah,
I
always pause.
the best podcast in sports. But
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think Drew is kind of somebody, I forgot who said it in a promo. I think it was Miz, that Drew McIntyre is Batman and Cody Rhodes is Superman. It seems like that's what they're being marketed as. I don't think Drew is a face or a heel. Um, I I assume that he re-upped on his contract because he was out for a little bit and then he made a surprise return. I assume that a deal was reached prior to that return, but you never know these days. But I do have Cody winning this. If they want to kind of solidify Drew as a tweener, I feel like they can't. I feel like Drew just can't win. I feel like he just has to like be in like this weird middle ground, if that makes sense. But I definitely see Cody winning. If the idea is for Cody to continue his build towards finishing the story, which is it's in eh. But if they want to continue building his momentum and continuing his build, you have him win. Point blank, period. Now, for the next match, we have for the WWE Women's Championship, Io Sky versus Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. I'm still trying to figure out why Charlotte is in this match, but nevertheless, um, want to know who you have between Io Sky, Asuka, and Charlotte Flair.
It's Charlotte Flair. That's
You
why
think Charlotte's
whenever
gonna
she
win?
get put into the title picture, you already know it's an automatic get down. Y'all gotta come off that title. The GOAT got to get that title back. Y'all know what's about to happen.
I agree. I think Charlotte is definitely going to win this match, especially if she's already being, if she's placed into this match. I think it's a no-brainer that she's going to win, considering that she didn't win the last time. Side note, she dropped a little she dropped a little bar on Bailey on Friday. And sis was just like, "What happened to you? Like, you used to be one of the 4 horsewomen, now you're just a stepping stone." And I was just like, eesh. So,
Well,
but nevertheless, I do think that Charlotte is coming out as the WWE Women's Champion. Now we're moving on to the World Heavyweight Championship between Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura. It's going to be a last man standing match between Shinsuke and Seth. Who do you have?
Seth, you already know Shinsuke ain't trying to win. Even if they offer him the title, he's like, no, I do not want title. He about to go. He about to. He about to do the job. We ain't gonna see him for the next couple months. He about to go surf. You feel me? He about to go to Daytona Beach
Huh?
and go to Disneyland. That's it. He do this
Daytona Beach
every
is
year.
nuts.
Around this time, he gonna do something. All right, I got y'all 3 months, something like that. Then I'm out.
Hmm. I can see that. I can see that. Shinsuke, I feel like Shinsuke is just on chill mode. I feel like he's always been on chill mode since he came from New Japan. Like, obviously, his booking has been questionable sometimes, but I feel like he's always just been like, I don't need a title. I just want to chill out. I just want to make my bread. And
Yeah, he treated like a job, man. He treated like Joker.
right,
Hey, I come here, ball.
right,
About to go drink some beers,
I
man.
go
Ride some
home.
horses. Pause.
But yeah, I agree with you on that as far as like his approach, as far as he's treating it like a job. And I think Seth is gonna win. And because it's a last man standing match, I feel like it's not gonna make anybody look weak either way. But so much for that. But and now the main event, or at least it looks like it's gonna be the main event: John Cena and LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa and Jimmy Uso. Who do we have?
Is the first of all, 350. That's what LA Knight name is according to the homies. They call him 350, bro.
Why is he 350 though?
Cause he half of the Rock. He ain't $7. He 350. Pebble Cold, man. That's what they call him.
I'm weak.
Yeah, Pebble Cold. That's his name, bro. He done stole everything. He got the little
Pebble,
people's elbow now,
pebble.
little fake people's elbow. He got a little Stone Cold Stunner. I'm like, hey man, get your old ass up out of here. Uh, is the bloodline
Right.
still existing? That's what I want to know. What's going? Is the bloodline there?
I
Because
think it is. I mean,
PTO ain't there. That's why they just like, all
I
right, street clothes.
PTO is crazy. I mean, I think it is. It's still. I feel like there's still like the Roman Solo relationship along with Paul that maintains the name. I feel like because Jimmy and Jay split, Jay's on his own thing. Jimmy trying to get back in. I think Jimmy is trying to destroy the bloodline from the inside out. I think he's trying to like do something diabolical, but the bloodline technically is still in place. If the name is still being used, if the merch is still being pushed, then the bloodline is a thing. So,
No, let's wrap this up. Y'all made $11 billion, bro. And who am I to say make less money? Because we all need more money. But, bro, wrap this up. I since January I said wrap this up with this bloodline stuff, man.
so who do you
Oh,
got
who do I
in the
got?
match? Who you got?
I guess the bloodline. I don't know, like legit. I don't know because I've been seeing what's going on. Yeah, the bloodline. Just because hey, the writer's strike about to be over this week. They about to sign the paperwork. Hey, seen it's time to make Peacemaker 2 and whatever else you got to make. So he up out of here.
I personally, well, the writer strike is over, but the actor strike isn't. So that's a thing. The next thing is, I think LA Knight and Cena are gonna win. I feel like they're trying to ride this LA Knight train as much as they can.
It's a
And
rusty
so
ass train. You better do something. It's a stealing ass train too.
still Nash train is
Arthur
crazy, but
Morgan
I,
and
I
them on
feel
that
like
train. Pause.
they're gonna ride this wave for as long as they can. I think LA Knight and Cena are gonna take the win. So that concludes the Fastlane predictions. Um, I have
When
one
you
more
gonna have
thing.
me on here for Bound for Glory, man?
What'd you say?
Bound for Glory about to start. I think Bound for Glory is next weekend or weekend after next, somewhere around
I'm
that.
about to check it. I'm about to say I'm about to check when Bound for
Yeah,
Glory is
I
because
need
that's
I
the show
need
that I
more wrestling
actually
podcasts to talk about
October
Impact.
21st.
Yeah, I'll be on here for that.
October 21st,
Yeah,
please,
people need to talk
because I
about
feel like
Impact more.
Impact. Yes, I've said it on this show. I feel like Impact Wrestling is the most consistently good wrestling product today, the most consistently good. And we're talking about something that, and the reason why I say that is because not just a free agent goes over there and it's like, oh my god, it's like everything is equally balanced. They have good main eventers, they have a great X division, high flyers. They actually do well with their tag teams. They market their tag teams well. They push their tag teams well. They have good tag team matches. They have an actual women's tag team division, like an actual one. And then on top of that, their knockouts division is stacked. And we talk about this whole thing about like diversity and all this other. We talk about diversity and all this other stuff when it comes to like women's wrestling and stuff like that. If you want to see what diversity in women's wrestling should look like, put on Impact Wrestling. You have everybody in there. Black, white, butter pecan, Puerto Rican, trans, everybody is in there. Everybody is in there, and it's not forced. It's not like diversity, diversity. It's like, nah, they're here because they should be here, and everybody's character works for them and all that. But we're gonna talk about Impact when we talk about Bound for Glory because Impact Wrestling, low key, is the most consistently good product in pro wrestling, bar none. I do have one more thing to ask of you because I'm not sure of how you feel about Becky Lynch, but Becky had a match with Tiffany Stratton this past weekend. And in my opinion, it was the best match that Tiffany Stratton has ever had at NXT No Mercy. So and now Tegan Knox is in line for an NXT Women's Championship match. And I just wanted to know the 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 Becky Lynch effect on NXT. Do you feel like her winning that women's championship helped the division in any way?
It does. It's getting eyes on NXT. I mean, they've been getting a lot of eyes this past year. They've been getting a lot of ratings. But when she had that match against Tiffany, or when she appeared, I think it was like 900,000 people tuned in.
Mm-hmm.
She's still a draw, so definitely. And then yeah, No Mercy was a banger, like from top to bottom. Every single match was fire. That was a good closeout match. Tiffany Stratton, I think I've said it on air, but I've said it to people personally. I mean, if you got two eyes, two ears, and develop frontal lobe, as my guy Eve said, you understand that she's the future of, pro wrestling, women's division. Her
Mm-hmm.
and what's the little shorty from U University?
Thea Hale?
Yeah, no,
Hale?
that's the
Yeah.
one. 19, 20 years old, and she had that match against Tiffany, and she and Mr. Beat. Yeah, I said, yeah, that's the future right there. But both of them. But I think her
Mm-hmm.
having a great match with Becky Lynch, a bona fide Hall of Famer, that solidified even more. That's what I got from it. It was a good match overall, but Becky being over there is drawing eyes, but it's more so a young girl was able to hang with her. So, yeah.
So I'm so glad that you brought it up. All right. Mo, you need to say sorry. I'm gonna say it to you before you come back on the show. You need to say sorry because when Becky won this title, it was like she's stealing opportunities from everybody else in the division. This does nothing for the NXT women roster. But like you said, it's bringing eyes to the product. She gave Tiffany, in my opinion, her best match. And not just that, she also main evented that show. Tiffany main evented that show with Becky and put on a star making performance. And because of that, she can stay in NXT and continue to work towards that belt and she'll still be credible, or she can move to the main roster. Like literally the world is hers because of that main event performance that she had. Not just that, but women are being highlighted that were not previously highlighted or were not being pushed. Tegan Knox is a perfect example of that. This is a woman who has been through hell and back, released, 2 injuries, someone who's been overlooked by creatives, someone who's been overlooked by a lot of the fans. Becky, the fact that Becky went up to Tegan and said, no, 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 no. I want to face you. Like I want to have a match with you. That does wonders for you to get that rub, to get that sense of credibility by having that type of interaction with someone like Becky Lynch. Like, and once again, I think that Becky, because she's gone down to NXT, and even prior to this, she has been very, very vocal about how WWE has kind of missed a couple steps when it comes to booking the women. And but not only is she giving the criticism, she's putting her money where her mouth is, and she's doing the work. She's doing the groundwork. It's like, all right, if y'all not gonna highlight these people, I'm gonna highlight these people. She gave Tiffany a great match, had a great interaction with Roxanne, had another great interaction. I'm probably gonna see her in a match with Kiana James. That's probably gonna be a banger. Then on top of that, now she's gonna be in a feud with Tegan Knox. That's 4 women that now are better after facing Becky than before. And so I think that the Becky effect on NXT is very much real. Also, that No Mercy show, like you said, was a banger from top to bottom. I was a little bit exhausted by the end of it, but like that from top to bottom,
Brother,
No Mercy was
that was no
probably
AED.
NXT's best show.
I'm sorry to cut you off. That was no AEW pay per view. That was only 2 hours. It went off at 8 o'clock
Yeah.
Pacific Standard Time. You
Nah,
must have
but
been
it
tired.
went up. But I had a long day that day. That's the reason why
I
I was
see.
exhausted. I had a long day that day. What up, dog? But yeah, man, I like that was a really, really good show. Carmelo versus Ilya, like Trick winning the North American title. That is now that North American title is now the NXT FUBU Championship. That is the NXT BET World title is the North American title. Cause
Well, my fault for being distracted. Big ass B right here. So if y'all see me move,
like I said, weave.
anyhow, uh, and maybe the B stopping me from hating on Trick because I want to hate on him. I like Trick, but I want to be a hater. I ain't gonna say for reasons why, but I'm a hater. You feel me? He cool. That's me hating. Nah, all jokes aside, the kid is great, man. I said he's better than Melo. No disrespect to me. I think Melo's a hell of a worker, but you can't teach 6 feet 4. You feel me? It's the same thing I say about the big man game in NBA. You can't teach 7 feet. You feel me? If I do this to you and I got the ball and you all of 5'8" like Melo, what you gonna do? So I think
Right.
Trick having that US title is just a gateway for him, getting that title off my man's. You feel me? Because they already had their matches before. So uh I can say this about NXT. It's time for Braun to go up. It was been time, but now it's time. Like, bro,
Yeah.
ain't nothing else for you to do. Go take your ass to Raw. Like, it's about that time for him. And then going back with Becky real quick, like he brought her up and her interaction with Roxanne. I think that's who she drops the title to. It's Roxanne. That's another
Mm.
person that's already ready to go. But I mean, when Booker T, Joe Trainer, look at his alumni, the Usos, come to mind as his first, alumni Hall of Famers that he's trained. So
Mm.
I think for her, she like 21, 22, she ready to go. But I think definitely Becky drops the title to her.
Mm.
Yeah, man. NXT is my favorite promotion right now. I've been on, record saying that that's my favorite promotion right now. Uh, you said everything. I won't, keep on talking just because there's nothing else to say. I think the future's bright, but they legit got to let Braun go up. Melo, people said it's time for Melo to go up. No, I think next year because
Mm.
him and Trick gonna have a program.
Yeah.
But Braun need for like, bro, I like Baron Corbin. I'm one of the few that like Baron Corbin. But after you have a match with Baron Corbin and the moves was crispy and everything was on par and you did the job to Baron Corbin, bro, it's time to go. Go.
Yeah.
It's been 2 years now since he's been there.
Yeah.
He ready,
He ready
bro.
to go. He ready.
Yeah.
He ready to go. But yeah, that's about it when it comes to NXT. We want to know how y'all feel about the whole Becky Lynch effect, how y'all felt about No Mercy, that fallout. Leave it in the comments below. But that concludes our show for this week. Thank you, Banks, once again, bro, for always coming on, supporting and always contributing. I appreciate you, dog. But that's about it. We'll see y'all this Saturday. Jesus. We'll see y'all this Saturday for Fastlane in the 316 space. And y'all have a good week.